Hello guys, this is Paula and I'm back for us to do some tags, and hopefully we'll get 4 done and for this video, and then we'll do the book tomorrow and then come back to tags again. So we're going to try to do 4 tags each time until I run out of tag ideas. Okay, so I prepped these tags as well. Everything's inked because last time I forgot to ink stuff. And the tags today are more simple, but they still have a flair to them that makes them different. And so let's get started. There's no sewing on this video either. Now that I think about it, let me look and make sure I'm right. Yes, so I'm going to straighten up the video. And I'm going to move the sewing machine back out of our way, just so we can have more room. It will make it much nicer. Okay, now I just knocked something in the floor that goes with the starting tag. Okay, so as you can see there, we are going to be doing something not so girly this time. And so we'll set the other one to the side while we work on this one. Now I'm going to be able to move my glue book out of my way. I feel freedom coming on here. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot. I've got all my collaging stuff on one side here, and it just is crazy. Okay, so yeah. All right, so I'm going to take the lid off my glue, set it right there, and hopefully it'll stay in place. So I've had these tags that have had gold on them for a long time and never had anything I could really use them for, but now I can. I believe these, you know, I cut out a bunch of stuff. I did a lot of fussy cutting, and it's easy to get confused, but I believe these are Nik the Booksmiths. If not, they would be Tracy's. Okay, so as you can see, this is a gold foiled top on the tag, and then a really cool, just kind of brush stroke little circles. And I thought it was really cute, and I wanted to use it for so long and haven't found anything until now. You know, this is all black. Behind is all a linen, a muslin type color. So I want to put this all the way up to the top like that, I was thinking. Now again, this is simple. I think my granddaughters could do this. But I just like to do simple once in a while. And then I really want to use some more of my doily that I like to put on things right there. And a cute button that is black right there. That's it. And then we've got this white with gold trim in it that we're going to tie on the top. But let's do the other portion first. Let's get everything glued down. We're going to have some that are more difficult than this, but I just thought we'd start out with the easy ones this time. And trying to do a couple easy, couple harder. And so it'll be fun to do. I like to do simple tags when I'm in a rush. You know, maybe I need some simple tags and I just don't have time to do a more elaborate tag. And that's why I'm giving you this idea. Okay. All right. There we go. And I, of course, got glue all over me already from just doing that. I'm trying to keep it from getting up on my gold portion here, but I've had these little gold tags for so long. So there's that portion. Now we're going to glue down the doily. And I'm just using glue stick on this one, except for the button. you know, this glue stick is so strong that it'll take care of business. Okay, now I'm pulling it all the way to the left and up over the stitching on the image. Now let me make sure this is down good, and trim off this little bit of excess that's kind of hanging over. Gotta get this glue off as I go along because it's not going to work very well if I don't. Okay, we'll let that dry for a second and we'll put the topper on before we do the button. But I want you to see up close. See the gold in that? It's really pretty. And so I'm just going to fold it in half, and hopefully I cut the right amount. And we're going to pull it through the hole into the front and out through the back, as I struggle to get it through here, but the hole is pretty big, so it shouldn't be a problem. So now we've got two choices on how we do that. We can tie it, or we can tie it, or we just leave it up like that. I kind of like that, but the sad part, the hard part, is that we have to staple it if we do it like that. Because gluing it will not help. Let's see what it looks like tied, and then we'll go from there. We can untie it and do whatever we want. Now this will probably just get a single tie. I didn't have very much of this, so I didn't have enough to, you know. And once you tie these, I'm not kidding you, they really stay. If you have any trouble with it, then you can glue it. Let me get it twisted around so that we can see. You can take them, when you fold them in half and they're bigger like this, you can separate them after you get them back out. And yeah, I like the way that looks. So there is how that looks. Let's get this button on. If you like the other way, I only tied it once, and it can be taken out and redone by whoever ends up with the tags. Okay, now this tag has a lot of little holes in it, so I'm just going to try to get around the rim. This particular one is not a vintage tag, but on the other one it is a vintage button, not tag, button. I can still see a little bit of glue through there, but I think it's fine. Now we're going to hold this button down, and I'm going to bring over the next card. As you can see, the flower is different, but that and the button on this one is vintage. Okay. I couldn't find a button that was decorative, that was vintage, and I wanted it to be this size. So here we go. I'll give it to you sideways, and then I'll turn it back around. All right, setting that one to the side, and the first thing we're going to do after I tear this paper off is we're going to glue the card down, or the picture, image, whatever, the floral. You see how many other things I can come up with. All right, so we're going to bring it up as far as we can, just like we did the other one. And so that way some of the gold down here on the bottom can show this time. One has gold on the top and one has it on the lower section. So all right. Because this is, got a little bit of glue on it, I can use my damp rag to get it off. Then my pajama pants to wipe off the wet. See, it's better now. Okay, so then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to lay this across, okay? And I put some glue. I'm just going to use the glue stick again. My glue is getting low there. Okay, let's try that again. All right. So I'm going to do it like this. Kind of stretched it out a little bit, and that's all right. It can be under the button, but it got heavy with glue here. So, and so is my fingers. When you can't touch anything for getting glue, worried about getting glue on it, it's not a good thing. Now I'm going to get my scissors I always use in the glue, and I'm just going to trim this section right here that kind of stretched down. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, there we go. Let me play with this for a second to get it like I want it. Okay. Now, I did get a little bit of glue right here, so I'm going to get that off. Okay, now we're going to tie the topper on. I mean, this is making some fast tags. I mean, you know, I know we always get in a pinch, or you're doing a book, and, you know, that book is... I think I just took a tiny bit of the gold off. It's all right though. Okay, now let's tie this through the top, and then we'll put the button on, and we'll have the first set done. Now, you know, this is an easy tag, but when you have easy, usually you have to pay a little more for it, and these tags having the gold on them were more expensive than I had planned on them being, but I liked the way they looked, and I wanted to use them on something, and I've been hanging on to them forever. Okay, now I'm going to do the double. We're going to do the tie. We're going to tie it once, and let's lay that back down. I think this one will end up looking cooler than the other one because this button is really cool. And I liked being able to use another color besides, you know, white or cream or pink. Now we are going to do, the next set of tags are going to be a little more foo-foo. That's why I did the easier ones first. All right, come on. Cooperate with me, please. Little tie. There it is. I might have to work on it a little bit, but it's easy to get these to cooperate. Sometimes you have to put a little dab of glue down there to hold them down. Okay, so now we're going to do the tag, the button. Not the tag, the button. Okay, now we're going to put this Fabri-Tac on here and hope that I didn't just put too much. I'm going to wipe around there to be on the safe side. And it's going to go on this same side. And of course, when the blue on the ribbon, or the... See, I can't talk straight today, guys. I'm sorry. On the doily, blah blah blah, makes a difference. Okay, so here is the second one, and here they are as a set. I think they're pretty nice. Yeah, and I love that they're different. You know, I love having that different look. from the same, you know, I like to use birds and flowers generally in my, on my tags. And so, and I like to put flowers, additional flowers on there. And I like, of course, putting lace or doily on there. It's kind of my thing. Okay, so I'm going to make this one into a rectangle, so I have it. Well, you know what? I have another one right here. Why don't we just match them up and make one big page? And then when I get ready to use them, they're already glued and dry, and if I need to add glue, I do. Okay, so that's going there to dry, and I am going to get another wipey for this next group that we do. Now, these are, you haven't seen these, and believe it or not, this is a freebie digital that I found going under tags on Pinterest. And I'll take anything that is free, and they're unusual, they're different. The ones I'm using today are more peach and gold tones. I'm gonna bring it over here. Peach and gold tones. And so we got still the gold tags we're working with, but we've got our cream lace, our gold tag, and this is one of the free ones. There's like, I think 6 different ones. Yes, I think there's 6 different ones. And so, yeah, this one, I don't know the flower, but I'll show it to you. You can see here, I love, they are something to, I used my trimmer to trim the sides, and then I fussy cut the tops and bottoms. Okay, now if you wanted to make it flat on top so you didn't deal with that, you could. But I kind of like them like that, and I want to use them like that at least the first time I make tags with them. So here we go. We have inked everything, and this is the lace that is going to go down here. And I'm looking to see if, yeah, I have it on the right side. I started to say I wasn't sure. So we're going to get this all blue, and hopefully it will dry by the time we are finished with the tag, so you can see what it looks like without the blue all over it. Okay, now I cut this lace at a angle so it would fit up here on this side of where the gold goes from the top to the bottom. I wanted it to kind of have a little bit of slant so that you could see the gold there. I'm trying my very hardest not to get any glue on that. And yeah, and we'll have to trim it off there in just a minute because it's a little bit low. Okay, so now again, these are easy too, and if I find we still have plenty of time, I'll grab some others out, some simpler ones, because I've got a lot ready. I'm going to lay this right in this corner where there's no glue, and I'm not propping this up on anything, propping this up. I'm not popping it up, but I guess you could call it propping too. Who knows? All right, so there is, this goes down. Some of these tags, the floor is on the top and some it's on the bottom. You just kind of have to look at the way it's growing. Now, I'm bringing this up and just showing a tiny bit of the tag on the left side. The background of this tag is gold on the top, but it's kind of a gray underneath. So I kind of matched everything to kind of work together there. Okay, you gotta hold that down because it's I should have added some Fabri-Tac. If it tries to come up, I will. It just hasn't dried yet. All right. So again, simple tags. I'm just trying to show you how you can just sit down and make 4, 5, 6 tags and not have to make them difficult, but they can end up looking unique and yours, you know. So you can sketch these out, you know. You can kind of look at them and sketch them out. That's what I do. Or I will print, on some cases, I print the, I'm going to take this scalloped lace, it's vintage, and I'm going to use it to go through the punched hole here. If I can get it in there. My fingers, I got that little issue with my fingers where I can't handle tiny stuff. Let's see. There we go. Finally. And again, I'm just going to tie this in a knot because I like the way that looks. It's my favorite look. Now, I think we have enough of this one that we're going to tie twice. But you don't have to. I've not ever had any come loose on me, but also we got to decide, do we want them longer or shorter? See, that's not wanting to stick down for some reason. So I'm going to go back and put some Fabri-Tac under it around the edges because I don't want it popping up. See, it's wanting to pop up. So I'm just going to grab it up on this end, since this is the end that doesn't want to cooperate. Let me get this on here. And it may be because I'm handling it, you know. I didn't want to lift it up and lose the spot, because when you put glue on this gold, it does pull it. It will pull it off, the gold off. So I just wanted to stay in the same spot there. See how the bottom's doing. Yeah, it's on the part that it goes on the lace is, you know, it's having a hard time. All right, now we'll know to just do that ahead of time on the second one. There we go. Much better. Now, some things you can do if you want to add sparkle to your flowers or your card or whatever. You can use stickles, you can use perfect pearls, or you can use Wink of Stella just to add some little highlights here and there. Let me see if I have Wink of Stella here. I do. And when I say use Wink of Stella, I mean the clear. And the clear stickles that has glitter in it. And the right color for the other. So I'm just going to show you on here so you kind of know what I'm talking about. You can just put it in random places, like on the edges of the flowers right here. And yeah. Now you have to remember too that this has ink on it, so it can smear. So you want to be sure you just, you know, don't spread it or rub over it. But this will give a look, a little bit of a look that just makes it look a little classier. Yeah, and if you wanted to put a little bit in the center, you could do that too. Yeah, so there you go. All right, and we'll do a little bit of that on the other one since we did this. Now we're not done. We got to put, you know, kind of our little showcase portion on here. the thing that draws attention. Not only are the tags really pretty, but I'm putting some Prima flowers on this one. I'm going to cut that a little bit. It's driving me crazy. It's too annoying. Just want to make sure it's the same length. There you go. Okay, so now we're going to do the flowers. You definitely want to use Fabri-Tac. Now, I'm adding the flowers to the opposite side. Like this is kind of a decorative area because it is on a slant. So I'm adding the flowers kind of like this. Or actually, I think I want to put the pink more up. It's kind of a peachy pink, but this is also. So that works out great. And wherever you locate them, it's never wrong. So just depends on where you like them to be. You can get these Prima flowers at Hobby Lobby now, and that's where I buy mine. And they come in a multicolored pack, just so you know. And I'm going to be careful when you put them on here. Like, see, this is showing there, so let me push it over. Yeah, you can't push them too hard because they're going to come off. But if you lay them on there, they will dry just with more texture. Okay, and I just glue a circle in the middle. I don't glue behind the leaves or the petals. Just in the middle of where the flowers are. And then I kind of hold it, see where I want it. I want it to kind of butt up against the other one. The nice thing about these is they will dry without looking flat, because they aren't flat, see? And that works great. Now, you could put on these, you could put like a tag, says the name of the flower, or you can put beautiful. Let's put a beautiful on here. Let me grab my words and see if I have a beautiful. If I do, we'll put it on there. It's beautiful, lovely, anything that kind of goes in this category, which I think will look good. Here's a love, but I don't think we want love on there, because I don't think you're in love with your. Here's one that says flowers. I'm looking here. I have to dig until I find it. You know, the funny thing about having all my little words in this one container, it's lots easier to find them. But I'll tell you, sometimes it's like when you want a particular one, you may or may not find it right away. Here's one that says enjoy, which is also another good one for that. We'll see what we find first. That will determine what gets put on them. Here's another flower. Butterfly, garden. A lot of them have sunk to the bottom. Let's see. Sorry guys. I got myself set on wanting to put beautiful on there. So we're going to put beautiful on this one. And I really wanted the other one to be lovely. And I know I've seen lovely in here. Or it can be beautiful in a different script, if we want to. Or there's one that says kindness. You can never go wrong with kindness. Or loved. That's a good one. So what I do, let me show you my mess. Anything I ever see that has words on it, I look at it. Even titles to digitals. So for instance, I get a lot of Love Junk Journal digitals because, you know, I'm on the design team and I get them. And here I always cut it off and always cut off the love. So, and that gives you a lot. So always look at don't ever throw anything away that you think you can use on anything. So we're going to stick with those right there and come up with something out of those so we don't eat up our time. But I cut them up and have them in here. And I used to keep them on a strip of paper, but I just didn't use them as often. Like these came out of a journal. No, not out of a journal, out of a day timer or day planner. And when I was done with it, I just went back and cut all the flowers. And it's a lot of pre-planning for that sort of thing, but it works. So I'm going to put some glue just around the edges of this beautiful. And I think I'm just going to put some glue stick on it because it's so little it should hold down without any problem. And I'm going to stick it under this flower just like that. So, I mean, you can still read it, but yeah, so that is our beautiful tag. And I'm going to bring out the last tag for this video, unless we are lucky enough to be able to have some extra time. Okay, so we're pretty much the same sort of thing. We're going to put glue on the lace and plump it down. Now this gold section on the tag does not slant, so we don't have to worry about matching that up. We don't want to cover up the gold though, so that is what I'm trying to accomplish here. Trying not to go overload with the lace, but it's not all that easy. Sometimes it makes up its mind. So I'm just going to line it up to the right side. Make sure it's straight. Bring it down. Yeah, that's good enough. Now remember, we have to put Fabri-Tac on the actual flower this time. And we're going to do it with just a little space left on this side over here. And we're going to bring this portion up more. Okay, now let's get the Fabri-Tac so we can get this thing glued down properly. So my husband and my grandson are out. They went to the music store. My grandson has picked up the guitar and he is very much into it. And so they went there, and then they're going, I think they're going to play Laser Quest or something. And then I'm sure they'll go swimming. Papa will take him swimming. They always go swimming when they come over and spend, you know, some summer days with us. We do it one child at a time so that that child can, you know, always remember that they came on their special day, and we give them 100% attention. You know, when they all come at one time, it's like chaotic because they don't agree on what movie. They don't agree that they want to go swimming now, they want to go swimming later, or who wants to watch a movie, who doesn't want to watch a movie. You know, and then what would happen in that situation, or used to happen when we did it that way, is the others would end up in the other room doing whatever. And then you're not really spending all that time, quality time with that grandchild. So, okay, so now we've got this all glued down. And let's go ahead and tie this tie in the top. Now, of course, if you're making these at home, I did pre-plan these. It wouldn't go quite this fast, probably. I mean, you do have to stop and think about what you want to put where. And that part does take a while. I've spent a couple days planning all these, but you should see how many more I still have. You know, I thought I want to do something different that's not collaging in between, and everybody loves making their tags for their journals, and so that's what gave me the idea to do this instead of just random things. Now, oh, I cut that cockeye. Try that again. Okay, just kind of have to play with these little toppers. Okay, so that's this portion. Now we are going to put a different kind of flower that is three-dimensional also, because it gives it more, I don't know, it looks better when you can do that. I'm not inking these, but I want you to see these inexpensive flowers from Walmart. But I liked that they were creams and darker creams, you know, or, you know, I guess that's what the colors are. That's what it looks like to me. And again, I'm just going to put glue in the middle. I'm trying to keep it from getting all over the front of the flower. And then I'm just going to kind of hold it down for a second. You have to remember, if you press too hard, it's going to squeeze out a lot of glue. And then we're going to put our second one right up here. And I'm going to try to fit it in where they look like they go together. Okay. What I like about these flowers, even though they're not expensive, I think they were like $2 and something. They're not Paper Studio though. What did I do with them? I don't even see them now. But they are inexpensive. They're not outrageously expensive. So now we're going to do a word. Let's see what we've got. Well, I don't know how that one ended up there. I think that we should do loved or beautiful again. Let's do loved. We don't want both of them to say flower, or we don't want them both to say beautiful, I guess is what I'm saying. And this one was kind of cut cockeyed, so. This was Tracy's handwriting, it looks like. I'm sure I got it in one of the digital kits. But they all go together when it's all said and done. They all go together. Okay. And there we go. So I love how these turned out. Simple. I mean, you could do what is it, the five-piece challenge or whatever, where you make something using 5 products or 5 pieces of whatever. Or when I say 5 pieces, I mean 5 different pieces. Like we have the tag, that's 1, lace is 2, the image is 3, flowers are 4, and that's 5. You know, so it doesn't have to be expensive to make fun tags. Let me see how much time we have. We have time to do another tag. Yeah, I think those turned out good. That's those two. Now let's see what our our dried ones over here look like. Totally different style. It's crazy, isn't it? How things can look so different. Okay, so I'm going to move these over to the side to dry. All right, now another thing is you can put labels on any tag at all. You know, it doesn't have to just be flowers or whatever you're working with. It can be whatever you want it to be. So, I'm trying to get some of my mess cleaned up before we move on. So, I have another, let me see if I have one that isn't a set of 4 or something over here. Give me a minute. We're going to do one more tag. I've got one here that doesn't match a set, but I may have to go back, and this is a digital from Tracy Fox. Love Junk Journals. All right, so we've got all this going on now. None of this is inked because we didn't have it planned ahead of time. So this needs a little bit more glue on it, the in-between portion. Now, again, this one, because I didn't plan it ahead of time, may need to be sewn. If it does, I'll just scoot over and sew it real quick and come back. It's lots easier for me to do it that way. I'm going to get this off of here because it is nasty. But I'm going to add additional glue. I do that so it stays together and will dry where I can use it on something else. Okay, and then let's see. All right, so we're going to need to ink this on the front. We'll do that. We'll ink everything first. How's that? And get that part over with. I like leaving the torn edge of the paper. Don't need to do that side because it's already going to be hidden. But we're using a craft tag. I'm going to have to restock all my tags. I used a bunch to make all these, but I used a lot of the book pages too. So yeah, and this one, you know, you do have to push down a little bit harder to get it where you can tell it's inked. And I'm gonna go ahead and do this. On the craft cards, I don't always put paper on the back. It really depends on what I'm using it for, because you can write on craft paper and see it just fine. And so that's kind of where I go with that. I already inked around this. This was a tag itself, so it becomes as a tag. And I trimmed it out because I wanted to layer it, you know, like this. And so that's the reason it doesn't look like a tag. I'll be making some that look like the tag, but right now I'm just kind of working with layering stuff and using up some of my little things that are part of Tim Holtz tickets and, you know, just ephemera in general. Like this is an old ad from the Lux Hotel. Shows the little guy carrying in the suitcase. So, okay, everything is inked so far. So, now I'm trying to think, do I want to stitch that? I think I like it like that because this is stitched around. Let's don't stitch it. Don't say hip hip hooray. It looks stitched already, so I say let's move forward and not stitch it. I don't think it needs it. Okay, now we're going to put this down first. I can get it on here. Okay, and now we'll do the, we'll glue this portion. Wait a minute, before I do that, I want to put some glue on the back of this doily so that whenever I do the gluing down for the picture, which is what we're going to do now, I'm going to have them both ready, so all I have to do is do it, you know. Now, we'll be sliding things under this photo too. I didn't think about that. Or actually, it's not a photo, it's a, or maybe I slid them under the bottom. I don't remember. No, I had this on the side. That's what it was. I don't know. It may or may have been how it was supposed to be, but it's all right. You can change it as you go along. Your plan can change. So what I recommend for you, if you want to sit down and make a mass amount of tags, I wouldn't plan on making more than 4 or 5 at a time if they're pretty simple. But, get this on here first and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Okay, I would definitely prep them one day and make them the next. You know, and you could prep more than 5. I mean, I prepped a bunch over the last 2 days. So here is the tickets that are supposed to go under here. So I'm going to lift that up a little bit. And then we'll get those down. It's hard to layer things like this whenever you know that you're going to have a bunch of layers. I don't remember putting 3 things on this, but I must have. So let's just stick them all there since I've got them. Yeah, I did. I remember now. I just kind of shoved that one up under there. Do you know what I just did? I put the flower on upside down. That happens too if you get into, what do you call it? Just routine. Pay attention to what direction your flower is going. Oh, Paula. Have you ever done that? I think I've done stuff like that before. Probably. We were up late last night, my grandson playing his music for us. We were both super tired, but we were enjoying seeing his creativity. And so I came straight in here this morning and haven't done anything else since. So other than eat breakfast. Okay, so there we go. Now, you have different choices of where you put your flower, but I'm going to put it right here. And if you find you want to add something somewhere else, that's great. I just kind of like to add at the end of roughed out doily. And, you know, it is kind of lumpy because I didn't put, you know, doily on both sides, but that's okay. I don't care about that. I am going to put twine in this one. I just think it'll look better than, you know, anything else. Okay. And I'm going to pull it through and I'm going to tie it. You can do it lots of different ways. You can also, you double tie it right here. I'll show you how to do this. This is like a jute kind of thing. So I double tied it right here. Now I'm going to pull it up like this. And I'm going to make a knot here at the top. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. going to twist it around your finger and pull it back through. I didn't make it quite as long as I didn't plan on doing that, but I just decided to show you. I'm sure most of you know how to do this. And then you pull it tight, and there you go. You have a different type of tag, kind of like what a mailer tag would have on it. See? And there is this one. Probably if I did it again, I would put the doily on this side, but it's not necessary. Okay? All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you did, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Share my videos if you can so we can grow our channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And thank you to all my new subscribers and to all my other subscribers. I appreciate you so much. See you next time. Bye.